Hey there, I'm author Sarah A. Chrisman.
And I'm Gabriel Chrisman.
And today we are going to tell you the backstory of a vacation we recently took. We just got back. This was our first vacation abroad in 19 years.
Far too long once we worked that out and added it all up.
Well, life happens.
Yes.
And so we took over 6,000 pictures, so obviously I can't fit all of those into one video. So the whole trip's going to be its own little series, and it's going to be interspersed with the same sort of videos we always do, the book reviews and such that you know and love. But remember to click subscribe so that you can get the full story if you're interested in the full trip. And anyhow, so we figured we'd start by telling how this all happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, first vacation abroad in 19 years, unless you count Canada, which for people from Seattle doesn't really count.
Sorry, Canada.
Sorry, Canada. Sorry, Canadian grandmother, wherever you are. Anyhow, so back a quarter century ago, I was an international studies major. I wanted to get a job that would let me travel the world. And I married a bicycle mechanic.
Right, who had nowhere near enough money to make that possible.
Well, and also your job was kind of tied to one place.
Yes, it was at the time.
It wasn't that I wanted to get rich. I just wanted, something that would let me travel. And,
right.
Well, life happens.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so I did for a year between 2006 and 2007 work abroad teaching English in Japan. This is the sort of stuff I trained for, that I'd gone to school for.
And that she's very good at.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I came back to you.
Mm-hmm. Lucky me.
Well, I did promise. And so we started saving up money to, take short trips, even if I couldn't be, traveling for a job. And so we started saving and kept saving and kept saving. And
we were able
to do just little
trips.
Little road trips and things.
Mm-hmm.
But by the year 2020, we thought, okay, well, we've got just enough saved to finally go somewhere really fun, and we'll go back to Japan.
We worked that out in 2019, actually, and we planned for it then.
Yeah, we planned for it then.
And we bought tickets for March of 2020.
Uh-huh. Yeah. March of 2020.
That didn't work out.
It didn't work out, and I can pin. We were going to see the cherry blossoms in Kyoto because I remembered the cherry blossoms so well. They're gorgeous, and I also remembered that they were just after my birthday, which is March 12th. So, March 12th, my birthday, 2020, my 40th birthday. The world kind of goes kablooey.
Yeah.
And
was not conducive to travel in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, well, our tickets got canceled, like so many other people's tickets.
Right.
Anyhow, if you want to hear the whole story of that year, I actually published my diary from that year. But this isn't about that. So anyhow, time goes on. We still got the money in the bank, and so we start saying, well, we can schedule another trip to Japan, maybe. But then we started watching the news, and it seemed like Japan didn't want tourists anymore. And there was more and more news stories about how Japan really didn't want us, really didn't want tourists at all, really didn't want visitors.
And a lot of highly popular tourist destinations started running into this as well, where they started basically being overloaded with tourists.
Right. And so there's been a lot in the news about all the places that don't want tourists. And we've had enough experiences over the years of places that made no bones about not wanting us, not least of which was my own home state of Washington, which is why we moved to Iowa, but we won't get into that. After saving all those years, we wanted to go somewhere where people would actually be happy to see us.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was a big question for us.
Where do we go?
Where do we go? And so we started by asking ourselves, well, what are we interested in? And so we would come up with, all these various options of where are we interested in, and then we would ask, can we afford it, and do they want to see us? So we'd ruled out Japan. We would love to see the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, but Britain's really expensive, and they're another place that really doesn't want tourists.
Mm-hmm.
We're really interested in the neoclassical world, and so Greece was very interesting, but again, Greece is pretty high on the list of places that really doesn't want tourists.
Right.
But here's the thing, ancient Greece, which is the part of Greek history that we were really interested in, had a lot of colonies. Which brings me to where we actually did go.
Mm-hmm.
And another part of the story, I tutor a friend of mine in English. She's from Brazil, and so I help her practice her English. And to help that, I got this little dollar store pack of Cultures of the World cards. And so we were just discussing all the different countries. One of them was Bulgaria. Now, this was, in the ancient world, this was a Greek colony.
Or at least the coastal parts of it were.
The coastal parts of it were. And Bulgaria was a really interesting part of Greek history because the Greeks took a lot of slaves from Bulgaria in ancient times. And actually, a lot of the stereotypes that have come down to us in the Western world about red hair come from the fact that the red-haired Thracians were slaves in Greek society. And the Thracians were, modern Bulgarians have many ancestors.
Right.
Thracians
At
were
this
one.
point, yeah.
Thracians were one component of that. And so anyhow, coming back to this little culture card, we have Bulgaria ranks with Greece and Italy when it comes to archaeological treasures, including objects and ruins from Thracian, Greek, Roman, and Byzantine eras. Also, it takes about 1,000 rose blossoms to make 1 gram of Bulgarian rose oil. Now, these are two things that caught my attention. First and foremost, we live in a neoclassical house. We live in a house that is architecturally and artistically based on the ancient world.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a place, Bulgaria still has a lot of artifacts from the ancient world. Also, anyone who knows anything about me knows that I am completely and totally obsessed with roses.
And everything to do with roses.
I grew up not far south of America's biggest tulip growing region. The Skagit Valley in Washington State produces most of America's tulips for the florist industry. And when we would visit that, when I was a child, I would walk through all these rows of tulips thinking how the only thing that could make it more perfect would be if they were roses. And so I had this childhood dream that I always wanted to walk through a field of blooming roses. Mm-hmm. Now this little tidbit, this one sentence factoid about Bulgarian rose oil sent me down a rabbit hole where I started researching why did they call out Bulgarian rose oil. Mm-hmm. Now the reason is Bulgaria produces the vast majority of the rose oil for the world's perfume industry.
90%.
90%. Mm-hmm. What does this mean? They have fields of roses.
Just vast fields of roses that all bloom at the same time and yes. all are harvested by hand for the perfume industry.
Yes. So, this was my chance. So, we decided, out of all the places on earth where we were going to go to Bulgaria. And when my pen pal in Budapest, in Hungary, found out that we were going to be sort of close to her part of the world, she said, if you're coming to Bulgaria, you have to visit me here in Budapest. And so that got added to the itinerary.
Then I realized that from Budapest, we were going to be only a few hours away from the Czech Republic, and there's a bicycle manufacturer that I've always been curious about, and in fact always just envied everything about them. And so I decided, well, it would be a nice short side trip to go up into the Czech Republic and visit Meseček Cycles.
Right.
They make reproduction historical bikes that are just incredible.
Right. So, the vacation we're going to be showing you pictures of, now that we're finally getting around to describing it, it was our vacation to first Budapest, the Czech Republic, and Bulgaria. So, hope you enjoy all of them. They'll be coming out in the next few weeks. And also, happy reading. See you soon.